Hi everyone. So it is currently raining. That's where there's that pitter-patter sound outside. But it is also the 2nd of May, which I know it's late to do this. Only by a day, so it's not too bad. But this is my April reading wrap-up and my May TBR as well. So yeah, let's get into it. So I know I did a poll for the next video, but I figured I'd first do this and then do the 10 romantic book recs since that one won. And don't worry, I will be doing the other videos if you voted for them on the poll. Just, I'll be doing them in order of like which was the most popular. So I read the first 6 books. I'm currently on Tower of Dawn. I read it in this order: Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, and Empire of Storms. I said I was going to read Assassin's Blade 3rd. I'm glad I didn't though, because I heard from someone else after I said that there was going to be a lot of spoilers. But I'm going to make a video on my Throne of Glass experience once I finished it. And yeah, so also if you follow my TikTok, or even just look at my shorts regularly, you'll see that I was doing the tandem read and something happened there. So I'll explain that also in the Throne of Glass, my journey for the first time that I'm reading it. So yeah, this is the first 6 books that I read this month. Also, by the way, I read 21 books this month, so 21 books in total. Then next we have the Twilight series. So I read this entire series this month. I was rereading Twilight, and I will be counting my rereads, and I only reread like 2 books this month. But yeah, so I read this Twilight series. This one was okay. Then it started to get a bit better, but then I felt like it was just too long, and I just wanted to get through it and finish it. I didn't have it in my heart to DNF it because, there's so much hype around it, but it wasn't that bad. It just wasn't good, So then the next book that I read was Damsel by Evelyn Skye. I had watched the movie prior to the book, and honestly, I'm happy with that because, if you guys have watched The Duff or movies like that where they're made from a book, but they have, a different plot line, it's the same, kind of foundation, but then they change a lot of the things in the movie from the book. But yeah, this book was really, really good. If you like strong FMCs, female main characters, and there was no romance in it. Maybe in the beginning a little bit, but then for about this much of the book, there was not really romance even. It's just she was falling for someone, but then the whole, I'm not gonna spoil it. Honestly, if I were you guys, for the movie as well, I would not watch the trailer because it spoils a lot of the movie, and it's really, really good. But this is a really great fantasy book. I would read the blurb for the book if you want to watch the movie though, just not the trailer because the trailer spoils a lot. So then I read My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. Floppy book. I love floppy books, by the way. So I love this book. I adored it. Only reason why I think I gave it about a 4.5 stars or 4 stars was because of the fact, oh my gosh, don't hate me for this, but I hate it when guys have chest hair when they're hairy. It just gives me the ick. And this guy was kind of he had a lot of chest hair, so I was like, no, because I have read It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I know that in It Happened One Summer, because he's a fisherman, she made him have chest hair and beard and all that, and I was like, ooh, okay. It was still a really good book. The only reason why I just lost that 0.5 was because of the chest hair. Call me picky, but yeah. So, something you should know is that Sarah Adams is one of my all-time favorite authors ever, honestly. She's incredible. She writes closer romances. I think this was her first, a bit more adult romance. I'm not sure. But there's one chapter, and you can skip it if you want to. But the cheat sheet, loved it. Absolutely adored it. 6-star read for me. One of my first ever romance books, got me into reading romance. And then the rule book, which they don't mention because they're both supposed to be standalones. They're connected standalones because the rule book is, so this guy's called Nathan Donaldson. This is his teammate, Derek. So this is connected with the football thing, you know? It should technically be like the Twisted series or something, because like connected standalones, you know? But yeah, absolutely adore both of these. So then we have My Dark Romeo and My Dark Desire by Parker S. Huntington and L.J. Shen. My Dark Romeo was okay, and so is My Dark Desire, but I preferred My Dark Desire over My Dark Romeo. A lot of my friends on Book Talk didn't really like it, but I found it okay. I was like, okay. You know, it wouldn't be the first book that comes to mind when you, like, if you say something that relates to it, but it was still, you know, not bad. It was just not amazing, you know? So then we have Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. Oh my gosh. It was the cutest rom-com, like, romantasy. It's amazing. It's like pretty small as well, so if you just want a quick read, it got me out of a reading slump. Honestly, I was about to get in one, and then this one kind of like brought me back up before I was like got into the reading slump. But honestly, I cannot wait for the second book. I'm going to probably pre-order it once it comes out. It's so cute. I loved it so much. It's like basically like what it sounds like. Villain gets the girl. The plot twist at the end, the cliffhanger, was amazing. It was literally a who did this to you, I will get down on my knees for you kind of book. And I follow Hannah Nicole Mayer on, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but on TikTok, and she is so funny. I love her little skits and how she like shows, you know, Assistant to the Villain and stuff, and how she gives like her little hints for what's happening next with the second book. And I think that there's gonna be a TV production. I'm not sure. But yeah, Grumpy X Sunshine, so cute. Go read this book. Yep. All right, so first off, can I say, nobody told me that you were supposed to read Kingdom of the Wicked before you read this, and I only realized it afterwards. It didn't have too many spoilers, but it was still really good, you know? So I read Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco? I'm not sure, I'm sorry. I read Throne of the Fallen. It was amazing. I cannot wait to get into Kingdom of the Wicked. I didn't get to get into it this time because I started Throne of Glass, and then I couldn't really, you know, I like reading series all at once instead of reading them like with books in between, because I like to keep the details fresh in my mind. But yeah, it was amazing. I can't wait to get into Kingdom of the Wicked. Then we have The Sensations, Binding 13 and Keeping 13. And oh my gosh, this series ripped my heart out and put it back in. Not in a bad way. It's not like a sad ending kind of book. Well, this book, it's not a sad ending to do with the love story. It's like a cliffhanger to do with the main girl character. Oh my gosh, I was about to cry, and I never cry. The only book I've cried is the last book, not 4, but the 3rd book. I can't remember the order of the names, in the Divergent series, which I don't have physically because I borrowed them from a friend. But oh my gosh, I love these so much, and I'm definitely going to be getting Saving 6 and Redeeming 6. So yeah, those are the other 2 books. All right, so the last book I read in April, which is technically, this was the first book I read in April, but the last book for the April reading wrap-up is the Hurrican Wars. Oh my gosh. Can I just start by saying how beautiful is this book? Just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that cover. It's amazing. And also Ali Hazelwood reviewed it. I sometimes just buy books just because some of my favorite authors like reviewed them and they're on the cover or something. It's bad, but it's, you know, it's good as well. I mean, the map on the inside, there's another one on the back that looks like this one. Naked hardback. I mean, who makes these anymore? It's incredible. Besides like Fairy Loot and stuff, but this is just a normal hardcover edition. How cool is that? And also, if you flip through, there's this ship. You can see it's like kind of a flip book, but I can't show how. You see, you have to get it yourself. But get the hardcover, not the paperback, because it's so worth it. This book has like real Enisa Lovers, you know? Who did this to you? Knife it to the throat, all of that. Romance and strong female main character gives you points. And it's just an amazing story. It's like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for the second book to come out. a masterpiece, like they said. But yeah, definitely go get that. Okay, now I think we're gonna be doing my May TBR, so let me grab those books. All right, starting off strong, I read The Fine Print and Terms and Conditions, and even Love Redesigned, but I never actually got to The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I'm not sure why. So that is the first book on my April TBR. The next book is, of course, from the Queen, Anna Huang, King of Sloth. Also, if you watch my like shorts and TikToks, I know I do book hauls really, like, you know, it seems like I do them all the time, but sometimes I just buy the books and then I forget to actually do the book haul until I'm going to buy books again. And it's honestly not that often because I did not buy any books. I got 24 books from my grandfather, but that was from, like, I forgot where he got them from, but they were like presents for me, but they were all like super cheap. They were only like, I don't know, $1 or $2 each. Maybe it's from a secondhand store, I'm not sure. But so I got King of Sloth and I'm going book shopping with my friend again. So this April TBR might have some books that we're adding to. But yeah, this is the next book. And I don't even need to explain why. Grumpy Girl, Sunshine Boy, Enisa Lovers, Forced Proximity, Work. It's got everything. She always has everything. All right, so remember what I said about buying books just because some of my favorite authors? There, Sarah Adams, Alina Armas, Hannah Grace. She's not my favorite author, and neither is Alina Armas, but I've read some of their books, and Sarah Adams, like, immediately buy. She says, this is her happy place. I'm reading this. I don't know. This is on my April TBR now. So yeah. If I'm reading Tower of Dawn, of course Kingdom of Ash is going to come next. The Cliffhanger and Empire of Storms is insane. I cannot wait to get to this book. I don't even have to explain about why this one's on my TBR. Then we have Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti. I don't know a lot about this one. I just know that it's Enisa Lovers, and that means it's going on my TBR. Immediately, Enisa Lovers is like my #1 favorite trope. Now, I know I don't own any of her other books. I only own this book, but I have read the entire Off-Campus series and Borrow You series by Elle Kennedy online. Absolutely adored it. Loved it. And so I'm definitely going to be getting that series and the cartoon covers. I was kind of waiting for, like, you know, a cartoon cover thing to come out because then I can read them in public if I want to and not just have to read them at home. So then, of course, I got Girl Abroad. It's a standalone romance. I'm not sure what it's about, really, but all I know is it's standalone. It's by Elle Kennedy. Immediately gonna buy. Then we have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I've heard so many good things about this series. I have the 5th book as well because it was a buy 2 get 1 free, and that was the only book that I could find that I was gonna read, probably. So I have the 1st and the 5th book in the series, and I cannot wait to get into this series. It's supposed to be amazing. And I read the back, and that made me honestly just want to, like, put down the books that I was reading and just go to read this one. I finally got it. I got Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and that means, well, I got the entire trilogy, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, and then I have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I had gotten the Six of Crows duology before I got Shadow and Bone, and then I learned you're supposed to read it like this, and I made a mistake by reading Dance of Thieves before Kiss of Deception. And I still haven't gotten Kiss of Deception, and that kind of made me not want to read the second book because I didn't really know what was going on. So I definitely had to buy this series. So now, hopefully, I'll be able to get through the entire Leigh Bardugo, Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows thing this month, too. So the Knockamat series by Lucy Score is one of my all-time favorite comfort reads. So, of course, I have another book by her. I also have Forever Never, but I'm kind of, like, I want to read this book before I read Forever Never for some reason. Don't judge me, I just do. Also because it's smaller and I can tackle it easier because I kind of want to read more books this month, you know? So yeah. Then we have Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. Lynn Painter, another autobiography author. I've read The Betting on You, The Do-Over, and Better Than the Movies by her, and I have The Love Wager too. No idea what these books are about. I just know that they're by Lynn Painter, so I'm reading them. Then we have Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, sorry. Can somebody in the comments tell me if this is a standalone book or a series, please? I'm not sure. So yeah, this is also on my TBR anyway. Then we have the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy. So, obvious reasons, I read Throne of the Fallen, loved it, so now I'm gonna read the Kingdom of the Wicked series. I cannot wait to get into the series. I know who these two are about because obviously Throne of the Fallen, and I cannot wait to hear their story. And I love the world that she's built with these characters already and the fan family and all of that. Then we have From Lukov with Love. I have zero idea what this book is about. All I know is that everybody fell in love with it, and Mariana Zapata is the Queen of Slow So yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading this book this month. Then we have Stay With My Heart by Tashi Buhian, and I read 2 of her other books, which I think are her only 2 other books. Absolutely adored them. She is now also an autobiographer, and I love this, by the way. This hardcover, it's gorgeous, so I cannot wait to read this book either. I've already read House of Earth and Blood. These 2 books have been on my TBR for months now, but I figured, okay, I'll read Throne of Glass and then I'll read the series, so I'm definitely going to be getting to this series. Rereading House of Earth and Blood, and then reading House of Sky and Breath and House of Flame and Shadow. Right, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I know it's going to be quite a big journey if I get into these series now. But I'll take a little bit of a break and then I'm gonna get into this series. So yeah, this was my April reading wrap up and May TBR. So thank you so much for watching if you watched the end. Love you guys so much, and thank you as well again for 1.4 subscribers. And yeah, don't forget to watch my shorts every day. See you.